All right, for more on the events that took place at Luthuli House earlier, we joined by ANC member and employee Mandla Qwane. Mandla, thank you so much for your time on the lead this afternoon. How did the picket go this afternoon? I saw there were employees of the ANC in some of the party's regional offices.
Thank you so much. I can safely say the picket went as planned, and I can also say that it was a successful picket. And remember, this was not a march or a protest, but it was a picket. By its nature, a picket doesn't have to be in large numbers. It doesn't have to take 4 hours. We only had an hour of a picket because it was planned as a lunchtime picket. It is correct that we had support from the employees of the ANC that came from all the regions of the ANC in Gauteng. I must also confirm that in the other provinces as well, our comrades who are staff of the ANC were also engaged in the same picket across the provinces in the ANC provincial offices. And the report that we have is that all these activities were a success in terms of what we had intended with these pickets, which in the main was to raise a tempo in terms of how we have been engaging with the leadership of the ANC to look into the issues that we have been raising over a period of more than 4, if not 5 years.
What we know, Mandla, is the ANC has been failing to pay your salaries on time. There are issues around your provident fund. Are these all the grievances you have, or do you have the others? And I had Jesse Duarte there explaining that it's because of the Political Party Funding Act that they are now struggling to pay salaries on time, even though the act actually came into effect earlier this year. But the financial problems the party is facing started as back as, what, 2019?
Look, I think what the DSG was saying, and I understood her to be saying, is that the situation has worsened since both the pandemic and now the new Political Party Funding Act. These two have worsened the conditions, the financial conditions of the ANC. But the problems are did not only start this year. They come as far as 2018, where we experienced, one, the delay or the late payment of salaries. And since then, 2018, there hasn't been any increase in salaries of the ANC staff, which you yourself you would understand that there's been increase in fuel, price of fuel, there's been an increase in the price of bread and all these other commodities. And for members of staff of the ANC, they still earn as much as they used to earn back in 2018. Which you would understand the burden now that is sitting on the shoulders of the ANC staff. Now, these are not new issues. The response by the DSG, in our view, was a positive response on the basis that she said something that we have never heard before, even in the other engagements we have had with the leadership of the ANC, which was that at this time, they met as the full complement of the officials, and they've made an undertaking to come up with a plan, and that plan does exist. Now, that is new, and that gives us a positive energy. It excites us in a way that it really suggests that the leadership is now occupied by these issues that we're raising. You are correct. The demands are not only about salaries and the provident fund. They are the late payment of salaries, but they're also about the call for the ANC leadership to consider a back pay of the money that employees have lost in terms of the salary increases. It goes further to also issues relating to a standardized professional, scaling of salaries. And our call is that if my counterpart is earning 20 rands in another organization or in another company, I should be earning also 20 rands.
Yeah. Just quickly, Mandla, we're just running out of time. Just quickly, how has this affected you as employees of the ANC? You've spoken about the burden, and often all we hear is, well, the salaries were not paid on time, but there are stories behind this inconvenience. What has been the inconvenience? How have you been affected as employees of the ANC?
Look, in the talks, when we talk as employees, you hear a lot of stories, and these are all depressing stories. You hear comrades who are saying that, look, I can't pay transport for my children to go to school because the salary is denied. You hear comrades who are worried sick about their own health, that if the medical aid is suspended as it is, what's going to happen to me if I have to go and consult a doctor or if I have to go to a hospital? These are concerns that members of staff are grappling with every day. You hear concerns about my car is getting repossessed, my bond is threatening that I'm a slow payer or I'm a bad payer. And these are all experiences that members of staff are going through. And be that as it may, as members of staff who are still committed to the cause of the revolution, we're still committed to the ANC, but we want the ANC to do right by us, not only as staffers, but as members of the ANC who have dedicated their lives to the life of the movement and making sure that we carry all the tasks on a daily basis for the ANC to move forward.